This is the breaking news related to the Korean election on March 3, 2022. People's Power candidate Yoon Seok-yeol and People's Party candidate AHN Cheol-soo announced a joint declaration of unification, saying that they would form a national unified government and achieve regime change without fail. On March 9, Yoon Seok-yeol, the presidential candidate of the People's Strength, and AHN Cheol-soo, the presidential candidate of the People's Party, reached an agreement on the unification of the opposition candidates, which remained the biggest variable in the presidential election. Candidates Yoon and AHN held a press conference at the National Assembly Communication Building at 8 a.m. on the 3rd, and announced the joint declaration of unification towards fairness and common sense, integration, and the future, and declared unification by surprise. In their joint declaration, they said, "From today, we will start a long journey toward national unity and the future of the Republic of Korea with the hopes of the people for regime change." He continued, "The two of us are a one team. We will make up for each other's shortcomings, achieve a regime change, and create a successful government through a complementary and competent and prepared administration." They said, "Today, the government we are trying to create together in response to the popular will of regime change is a future-oriented and reformative national unified government. It will be the first step beyond the politics of exclusion and division," he said. "In the future, from the formation of the Transition Committee to the formation of a joint government, we will discuss together and respond to history and the will of the people. We will hire experts," he said. The following is the Unification Joint Declaration toward Fairness and Common Sense, Integration and the Future. Dear citizens, we, Cheol-soo AHN and Seok-yeol Yoon, decided to come together today for a change of government as the beginning of making a better Korea, that is, for a better change of government. Starting today, we will start the long journey toward national unity and the future of the Republic of Korea with the hopes of the people for regime change. I have no doubt that a complete regime change will be realized with today's unification declaration. We will prepare for an era of great transformation for change and innovation in the Republic of Korea, only according to the will of the people, through a change of government without fail. The two of us are a team. We will make sure to achieve a regime change while filling in each other's shortcomings, and create a successful government through complementary, competent, and prepared administrations. Today, the government we are trying to create together in response to the will of the people who want a regime change is a future-oriented and reformist national unified government. It will be the first step beyond the politics of hate, exclusion, and division. We will become a government that will open the door to a new Republic of Korea as a just society where fairness and common sense live and breathe, and will create a science and technology-oriented nation that leads the fourth industrial revolution by properly laying the foundation for advancement linking industrialization and democratization. Through the national integration government, we will normalize all state-run operations that have been riddled with abnormalities such as lies, hypocrisy, and unfairness over the past 4.5 years. Fellow Koreans, I will tell you the path for a unified national government. First, the unified national government is the future government. We will look to the future, not the past. It is more important to create and implement government tasks for the future rather than regressive government operations such as clearing out corruption. We will overcome ideological excess and camp logic, boldly remove policies that are biased towards specific groups, and operate state affairs centered on the most necessary practical policies for the future of the Republic of Korea. Second, the national integration government is a reform government. It is not the reform that the government needs, but the reform that the times demand and the people need. Even if it is a burden on the government, we will responsibly carry out the reform tasks necessary for the future and sustainability of the people and the country. We will never do anything cowardly that ignores the reform tasks that must be done for the country and the people or leaves them to the next government. Third, the national unified government is a practical government. We will operate state affairs solely centered on the national interest, and become a market-friendly government, ushering in an era of science and practical politics rather than ideology and faction. Even if it was the policy promoted by the previous government, we will continue to pursue the necessary policies at the national level. State affairs will never become prisoners of ideology, and politics will never become hostages of camps. Fourth, the unified national government is the anti-epidemic government. First of all, we will work together to overcome the crisis by promoting the stagnant domestic economy along with the COVID-19 crisis and incorrect quarantine policies. We will do our best to provide preferential assistance to the vulnerable, including the self-employed and small business owners. We will stop the pandemic and protect people's livelihoods with scientific quarantine, not political quarantine. Fifth, the unified national government is an integrated government. No country has overcome the crisis without national unity. We will aim for unity in the future rather than division in the past, and we will immediately correct any wrong policies and put the Republic of Korea on the right track. We will write a history of succession and development, not of severance and denial. The politics of division that divides the people in the Republic of Korea will no longer exist. Fellow Koreans, a unified national government will not be a government in which the president runs the country alone. Under the principle of cooperation and cooperation, we will continue to operate state affairs together with the state affairs partners promised to the people. We will respond to history and the will of the people by discussing everything from the formation of the transition committee to the formation of a joint government. All personnel, regardless of political faction, will hire experts with both morals and skills, including those who are not involved in politics. I will continue to talk about the selection of specific reform tasks and the direction of the reform. Fellow citizens, for the future of the Republic of Korea and the success of a unified national government, the two humbly promise to the people that AHN Cheol-soo decided to support candidate Yoon Seok-yeol. I, Seok-yeol Yoon, will receive the will of candidate Cheol-soo AHN and will surely win, and together we will create and succeed in a successful national government. Changing regimes together, taking over regimes together, preparing regimes together, and forming governments together. The People's Power and the People's Party, the two parties, will promote a coalition immediately after the elections so that the power of regime change can lead to a political change in a change of time. It took a lot of time and ups and downs to reach today's declaration, but as a result, this unification was made by the people. Seok-yeol Yoon, raised by the people, and Cheol-soo AHN, who has been running with the people for the past 10 years, joined forces according to the will of the people. It is a joint effort with the people's desire for a change of government. It is the unification of the people, by the people, and for the people. Now, only the road to integration in the future remains. We will all look forward and run together. I will correct the situation of the Moon Jae-in administration for the people. And on top of that, we will surely create the Republic of Korea, a nation centered on fairness, common sense, and science and technology that the people wanted. People, I'm sorry I'm late. As late as it is, I will do my best without resting, until the very end. Thank you. Thank you for watching today. Please like and subscribe.